Hi, I'm Trish. Welcome to the Gig House Kitchen. Today we're going to make some homemade butter and then use the buttermilk to make some delicious Irish soda bread. So let's get down to it. Now, a lot of you have probably made butter before but not realised you've made it. Every time you over whip cream, you actually make butter and buttermilk. So you probably guessed that the main ingredient, in fact the only ingredient for butter, is double cream. And I have in my bowl a pint of double cream. Now what I'm going to do is whisk the cream with my electric hand whisk for about 10 minutes, and then I will end up with the buttermilk and the cream. So off we go. Okay, so we have been mixing that for about 6 or 7 minutes. It should take less than 10. And as you can see, we have butter and we have buttermilk. Now, I've managed to sieve off about 260 mils of buttermilk. So I'm going to top that up in a minute to 300 mils with just a little bit of ordinary milk. But here we have the butter, which is very exciting. Now I'm guessing we've got about half a pound of butter, so that's worked out very, very well. I'm just going to take the butter out of the mixer blades because I don't really want to switch it back on and try and release it because I've got a feeling the butter will go everywhere. Now, how do you know your butter is ready? Easy. It stops giving off buttermilk. As soon as all the buttermilk has gone and no more buttermilk is coming out despite mixing it, then your butter is ready. Now, I've been mixing this for a few minutes longer than I needed to, really, because the buttermilk had all come out, but I did that to check that it had. Now, quite a few recipes tell you to put the butter in a sieve or in a colander and run it under cold water to get even more buttermilk out. But I can see that all that buttermilk's out, so I'm just going to leave it like that. So, when you put your buttermilk in the jug, you do need to sieve it because bits of the butter will actually come out into the buttermilk and we don't really want any of that. So here I have some sea salt which I'm going to add as my flavouring, but you can put just about anything into these butters. You could put tomato puree, a little bit of tomato puree to make like a tomato butter to go with fish. You could put some fresh parsley, or you could make some garlic butter. But it's probably a good idea to get a pestle and mortar and to mash the garlic down and then put in a little bit of lemon juice and a little bit of fresh parsley, or even dried parsley actually, a bit of salt, give it a good mix and then add it to the butter. Delicious. Right, now I've added the salt to the butter. I'm going to give it a little bit of a stir to combine it. Okay, so here we are. And then I'm going to get my greaseproof paper that I've previously cut, and I'm going to put my butter onto the greaseproof paper. Okay, what I'm going to do now is literally just form that very carefully into a sausage. Actually, I think I might take it off the greaseproof just for a second and roll it. You can't really put anything down because you don't want it in your butter. So you just have to go for it and give it a bit of a sort of shape. Well, I don't know what you call this really, mini rolls. There you go. Right, now I'm going to put that onto my greaseproof and I'm going to roll it and I'm going to put that in the fridge. We've had to do this episode in 2 parts, so some of you may have noticed that I've had a haircut. That aside, we're going to get on now with making the soda bread. I have a bowl, and into that bowl I am going to put in 275 grams of plain flour. I'm going to give it a bit of a sieve. I have here 175 grams of self-raising flour, and to that I'm going to put a teaspoon of salt and a heaped tablespoon of baking powder. Now I'm going to sieve these 3 ingredients into my bowl alongside my plain flour, and then I'm going to make a well in the middle of the flour, and I'm going to add my buttermilk. I had about 275 mils of buttermilk that came off the butter that we made, so I've just topped that up to 300 mils, which is what the soda bread recipe requires. I'm going to pour that into the middle and take the 25 grams of butter, which I've melted in the microwave, and pour that into the middle as well. Now you could use a wooden spoon to mix the ingredients together, or you could do the authentic way, which is literally to put your hand in and just give it a stir to mix it all together. Now there's lots of different soda bread recipes. This one is my particular favourite. You can get quite a few soda bread recipes which have got wholemeal flour in, which is great, very healthy, full of fibre. But I find they can be quite heavy, so I don't tend to make those. It's almost together, doesn't need kneading. So once I've got all the flour put in, I'm literally going to put it on my greased tray over there. So I'm going to bring over my greased tray, and I'm going to form my soda bread into a nice round. Put it onto the tray. As you can see, it's very rustic. What I'm going to do now is get a knife and put a little slit on the top. Now this is actually so the inside cooks easier, but Irish law is that it lets the fairies out, I believe. If anybody knows the origin of that law, please let me know in the comment section. Now I'm just going to dust that with a little bit of flour. So that is now going to go into quite a hot oven, 200 degrees centigrade or gas mark 6. For about 40 to 50 minutes. So here we have the soda bread now out of the oven, and we've cut a slice off, and I have to say it smells absolutely delicious. I'm going to now get my butter knife and use my butter that I've just made to butter it, and then we're going to try it. Now it's still hot, fresh out of the oven, so the butter probably will melt very quickly on it. So there you have it, delicious soda bread and homemade butter. Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe. See you next time at the Good House Kitchen. Bye.